Now the roundtable with WPTV political analyst Brian Crowley. As always, good to have you here, my friend. The week that's been, your thoughts?
Well, it's been quite the week as usual, but let me first say that Thomas Whitcomb, it's obviously a long shot campaign for him, but it's nice to see the younger generation getting involved in politics, 25 years old, getting involved. And whether you're Republican or Democrat, I think it's important for younger folks to be looking at the political landscape and getting involved. You know, it's been, well, let me start with one of the oddest things that happened when Donald Trump speaking to the Jewish coalition and basically criticizing Jews if they don't vote for him and saying some things that the ADL considered to be anti-Semitic. Jared Moskowitz, the congressman, he was harshly critical of Trump's remarks, and it's very odd that, you know, you're supposed to be trying to build constituencies. He's gone after Haitians, he's gone after Jewish voters. You know, he goes after all these subgroups that he really needs to help him win, and I just don't get his thinking on some of this stuff.
And all this, and I asked this apolitically, but all this and yet another week where we saw the week begin with yet another attempted assassination. People trying to get their bearings in this community and country. I have people ask me about it all the time. There's no real answer per se, except that we're the tumultuous times we live in on all sides.
Our problem is actually much deeper than the assassination attempts on Donald Trump, as horrific as that idea is. You know, in the Treasure Coast, we had an 8-year-old, we had an 11-year-old that were making death threats. I think the 11-year-old in the Treasure Coast was threatening to shoot people at his school. And I'm like, how did we get to the point in this country where we have kids making death threats? And it's becoming common around the country. Little kids are making death threats. There's an element of violent rhetoric in this country on all sides that is just grossly out of hand. What are we doing to our kids? What are we doing to our grandkids when they're starting to think that violence is the way to solve a problem?
And Brian, you always eloquently say it's easy for any one of us to sit and watch this, say, yeah, they need to watch what they're doing. But it's really incumbent on all of us, you, me, all of us, take a hard look in the mirror.
You know, sometimes I think we need to smile at each other a little more. You know, sometimes you're walking down that aisle in the store and you smile at the person coming toward you and they look right through you. You hold the door open for somebody and they don't even acknowledge it. We kind of need to get back to just being polite, and maybe that'll help lead us in the direction of less violence in this country. But I think it's going to have to happen in the schools. It's going to have to happen first with the parents.
Politically.
And then politically.
In every aspect of life.
All of the leaders need to condemn on both sides violent actions, violent rhetoric, and bring us all back to the middle.
Brian, I want to ask you about something. Late last week, the governor hinted at, we don't have a date yet, but certainly hinting that it looks like we could be looking at a special session before the end of the year. So many people complain. I was at the doctor the other day, and the nurse practitioner, very sweet, spent more time, and I understood it, talking about what I was there for, but she spent more time heart-rendingly talking about, I don't know if I can afford to stay here with what's going on with condo assessments, post-Surfside, new rules in effect. Listen to what the governor had to say late last week.
I think the path forward would be by the end of the year, generating the ideas that the legislature can then take, run with, and produce some reforms that are going to be sensible, that are going to continue to support transparency, that will support safety, but are also going to do that in a way that is not going to be something driving people out of their condo units.
Brian, whether it's condo assessments in the debate, we'll now look to see if we have a special session, certainly leaning that way. The cry for insurance reform, you heard our first guest talk about it, Matt Cesney, Megan McRoberts, a town hall last week up in the Treasure Coast where people said, listen, we don't know what we're going to do. It just feels, everybody keeps saying, when's this reach critical mass, where much like the parks debate, people are going to say, that's it, and we get some more action or real actions. Some Republicans argue we're doing all we can now to get more insurance companies in. But what's your sense of it politically?
Well, politically, I think the governor needs to stop getting himself involved in national issues and traveling all over the country trying to keep his name alive as he prepares for his 2028 presidential race, and concentrate on the issues at home. And which would get him a lot farther in 2028 if he was recognized as being a guy who really cared about the people in his own state. This is not a new issue. He could have been dealing with this 6 months ago, earlier this year. You know, here we are approaching October, and now he's thinking about maybe calling a special session to deal with at least part of the issue. And legislative leaders are sort of balking at the idea of a special session. But, you know, he needs to concentrate on the issues that are important to the people here. And I'm glad he's thinking about it now, but he's been a little slow.
The parks issue about golf courses not going to happen, Jonathan Dickinson. You saw a groundswell immediately, and politicians, most of them were like, whoa, we're not touching that, let's back off. When do we get to that moment here where it's going to be a ballot box impact for either side? You would think it had achieved that. You've covered politics a long time in the public mood. Your sense?
Yeah, I think we're there. I think part of the reason he went ahead and had that press conference is they're feeling the pressure.
As we are.
Legislative leaders are feeling the pressure. Individual lawmakers are feeling the pressure. Condominium, when you put all the condominium folks together, that's a lot of votes. And they're all facing enormous potential increases, and as you pointed out, some of them are talking about they may have to leave the state.
Brian, I know there's so much going on. What else is top of mind for you these days?
Well, part of what's top of mind for me is our medical industry needs to make some changes where it's become a bit robotic. We can have great health care, but sometimes I think the patient is treated like a car that's going in that needs an oil change, and you're sitting in the lobby waiting for something to happen. I have a relative who's going through some severe breast cancer issues right now, and the long waits to see a doctor, to get test results, to move things along, when you've heard the C word, can be really difficult. And I think I feel like the medical industry needs to kind of sit back, and they do a lot of things that are fantastic. They save lives, don't get me wrong, but they need to do some things that I think also provide patients with comfort.
Brian, as always, appreciate the perspective. We talk about the economy as a top issue, but all of this, what we're paying to try and have our quality of life for healthcare, for insurance and the like, continue to be interesting to see how this plays out, not only in this election cycle, but beyond. We appreciate it. We'll have our thoughts with that family member, that relative as well. We'll be back with Brian's final thoughts in just a moment.